the quality of various newspapers, but to put out there for the viewers what everybody is covering essentially. And it seems like the Maharashtra political shakeup is something that people can't stop talking about. The opposition unity ahead of 2024, that's something that's being raked up. There is fresh violence in Manipur. Many are saying this could be the bloodiest clashes in the 2.5-month long conflict in the hill state. When it comes to governor versus government, it seems like Tamil Nadu is again going to be in our focus, because reign in the governor or face Tamil Nadu's ire is what Chief Minister M.K. Stalin has told the center. Along with that, we've got the Ashes that's going on. The second match of the Ashes, the second test match concluded yesterday. It was a riveting contest. Ben Stokes again standing still firm there with 155. And also the Prime Minister today is going to be addressing a virtual summit of the SCO. And what's crucial and important to note here is the fact that Xi Jinping, who's already on his third unprecedented tenure, and Vladimir Putin, we're looking at 495 days of the Ukraine-Russia war. They are going to be in attendance with Prime Minister Modi as he addresses the virtual SCO summit. But first and foremost, our focus is going to be definitely on Maharashtra, the political shakeup. Ajit Pawar has led this particular split. It's a double engine and it's a double split. After the Shiv Sena, it is now the NCP. Those are visuals from the swearing-in ceremony. He now becomes the second Deputy Chief Minister. It hasn't gone down well with the opposition, I must say. A lot of opposition leaders taking to the microblogging website, many coming out openly and critiquing on this particular move, saying that so on to say that Sharad Pawar has gone on to take a swipe at the Prime Minister, says that the Prime Minister is somebody who alleges and calls out corruption. But right now in Maharashtra, it seems like he is welcoming it. Joining me on the show for expanding this conversation is my colleague and news editor Pankaj Mishra. Pankaj, yesterday, Sunday, everybody was shocked with what Ajit Pawar had done. Supriya Sule last night smiling in that particular press conference. Jayant Patil also saying that we are expecting and hoping all of these MLAs to come back. We all know that's not going to happen, even as the NCP has now moved a disqualification petition against not just Ajit Pawar but several other MLAs as well.
Well, yes, indeed, Kabir. It's the political astuteness of both Ajit Pawar and Sharad Pawar that was at full display yesterday. And for Ajit Pawar, yes, it's 2019 2.0 once again, because he has done it once again this time around. Whether he would come back or not remains to be seen. Otherwise, yes, for Ajit Pawar, it's a new beginning, but for Sharad Pawar, as his body language from the press conference that he did yesterday was clear that he was not aware, as he claimed, and he said that it is his own decision, Ajit Pawar's individual decision. Meanwhile, since we are discussing the newspaper, let's begin with the headlines. And obviously, on days like these, when the big developments happen, the headlines of newspapers are actually quite catchy. Chote Pawar ki Mahabagawat Ajit Pawar mein. This is what Nav Bharat Times has to say. And Chote Pawar ki Mahabagawat Maharashtra is what they are referring to. Then we have the Indian Express, the double engine, double split. After Sena, it's NCP. This is basically the bottom line. How first the Shiv Sena, we saw how Eknath Shinde came out of Shiv Sena, taking MLAs with him, and then Uddhav Thackeray had to fend for the last straw there. Pawar versus Pawar 2.0. Ajit joins Shinde, BJP government in big blow to national opposition unity. That's what Times of India has put as the headlines. All these things put together, Kabir, I would say, yes, the democratic aspect of Indian polity is such that this would not be seen as a backstabbing. Rather, this would be seen as a political masterstroke. Whatever Supriya Sule, Sharad Pawar, or anyone has to say now, the fact remains that Ajit Pawar has changed the camps, and he has made his intentions clear. So what is said earlier what was on his mind remains, a thing of past. From here on, the fact remains that BJP has successfully punctured, dented two biggest opposition parties, regional opposition parties in Maharashtra ahead
Supriya
of
Sule
2024.
last night, Supriya Sule Pankaj, she said what she called was the ICE treatment, which was the income tax. It was the CBI and the Enforcement Directorate. And yesterday, Tariq Anwar, we were one of the first news entities to really break out and start talking about this particular split in Maharashtra. Tariq Anwar said that it's only the pressure of these central agencies. ये सब जितने भी MLAs थे, ये सब जितने भी विधायक थे, ये सब घबराए हुए थे, ये सब Enforcement Directorate के चपट में थे, उनके प्रेशर में आके उन्होंने ये सब स्टेप लिया. And take a look at this: 4 out of the 9 MLAs are kin in graft stock. What will the ED and the other agencies do now is another big question, isn't it, Pankaj?
Well, yes, so this question was pretty much there when Ajit Pawar was doing the press conference, and he addressed that also. He, along with Chhagan Bhujbal, took a pot shot. कि देखिए जी किसके खिलाफ केस है, किसी के खिलाफ तो नहीं है, इनके खिलाफ था वो क्लियर हो गए, इनके खिलाफ था वो क्लियर हो गए. So they were ready for this question. They were ready for this understanding that since it is the ED cases and several corruption cases against several of the ministers or the MLAs whom Ajit Pawar has broken away from the NCP, they face those cases. But what remains to be seen, what needs to be looked at from a very critical point of view is that Eknath Shinde and Fadnavis did not have any paucity, or they were not lacking the numbers. They were comfortably placed. They were not, going into a minority. They were not facing any sort of threat. So to bolster it more, they got the support of again 8 to 9 more MLAs as of now. Those who have taken oaths. Although speculations are right that there are more than 30 that Ajit Pawar is breaking. So the question was not that of stability there as far as this particular incident is concerned. The question was, the main aspect was to weaken the NCP, and this body blow to Sharad Pawar as of now, what it looks like, not more than 12 hours have passed, Kabir.
Right, still pretty early, absolutely.
Yes. So what comes out of Sharad Pawar's kitty, that remains to be seen, whether he manages to get Ajit Pawar back again. Even if it does, last time Devendra Fadnavis could not form the government, but this time the government is already formed. Ajit Pawar
he can't stop smiling. He can't stop smiling. Fadnavis can't stop smiling. And take a look at the number game here, Pankaj. It says, and before the number game ahead of 2024, what this means for NCP's strength: the Assembly is 54, Council has 9, Lok Sabha is 5, Rajya Sabha they've got 4. He's gotten the second biggest post for the third time in 4 years. And many are again asking, why would Ajit Pawar settle down for a deputy chief minister's post? Yet again, we know that the reasons were out there for people to really read between the lines. He was really miffed with the way he was being treated in the party. But why settle down for a deputy chief minister's post? It's the second deputy chief minister. I mean, with the way Fadnavis was sitting and smiling, he would have been okay with giving away the post of the deputy chief minister as well.
Yes, Kabir. See, this question obviously came into picture time and again yesterday, that why a deputy chief minister. But the thing is, here we had a stable Shiv Sena and BJP government. So the numbers were not something that Ajit Pawar was bringing to the table. So obviously he could not have been the kingmaker. Also, he could not have demanded that. Remember, this government has already completed 1 year or so. Last year itself, when this changeover happened. So again, to ask for a chief minister's position, 1 year, 1.5 years down the line was not the game plan. The game plan is actually 2024. The game plan is to weaken NCP. The game plan is to weaken Sharad Pawar. Now, the man on the screen, Ajit Pawar, is a very suitable character, if I may say. Kabir, agar Treta Yug hota, तो जो एक बात आई थी वहां से, घर का भेदी लंका ढाए, जो विभीषण रावण के भाई के बारे में कहा जाता है कि उसने राम की सेना को सारे गुप्त सूत्र बता दिए, एंड दैट्स व्हाई Ram could actually vanquish Lanka and he could take down Ravan. This time around, this is what we call political astuteness, a political move. Ajit Pawar had always been nurturing and harboring of late the dream to come out of the shadows of his uncle Sharad Pawar. He wanted to lead NCP also. That's something that in politics is not considered to be a bad thing. If you are ambitious, if you want to be chief minister or prime minister, or for that matter, leader of your party, that's fine. But when Sharad Pawar on 2nd of May had resigned, saying, citing health reasons, so that day Ajit Pawar had also cried buckets. He had said कि साहेब ऐसा चाहते हैं, साहेब वैसा चाहते हैं, लेकिन वही नेता रहेंगे, हम लोग उनके नेतृत्व में काम करेंगे. हाँ, अगर कोई भी अध्यक्ष बनता है इससे में कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता है, बट नेता ही साहब ही नेता रहेंगे. अब after that, again 2 days later, Sharad Pawar says that fine, I'm not resigning. Then after some time, he makes Supriya Sule and Praful Patel as the working president. After that day, when Supriya Sule and Praful Patel found mention and not Ajit Pawar, then that was something that I think did not go well with Ajit Pawar. And that day he resigned from the post of leader of opposition in Maharashtra Assembly. And he said that he wants to work for the party. And he told categorically his MLAs that they all know how he works. He is a yes or a no man. He gets the work done. And he has done the same for 2019. 2019 is also a critical aspect. Ajit Pawar's role was very important when, as far as NCP's positioning in the 2019 elections were concerned. So, yes, I mean, a breakaway. He's a young leader. A changed NCP is what many people are talking about. And the like-minded, he holds a sway over the young and the old in NCP. And that's why if the numbers are going up, or are being claimed to be around 30 or 40, then I don't think it's a surprise, because Ajit Pawar has done a Sharad Pawar on Sharad Pawar, and this is Shiv Sena 2.0 that is happening with NCP.
And take a look at how both the Pawars are now posturing themselves. I've got here with me the Times of India. It says, no need to talk of numbers, where the NCP is what the nephew says. This is what uncle says. Uncle says, I'll remain the face of the party. This is coming hours after the split. And he's also taken a swipe at the Prime Minister, Pankaj. He says, I'm happy that Prime Minister Narendra Modi has cleared some NCP colleagues of corruption charges, as they are now ministers in the government. This means that the allegations were baseless. And this is what NCP leader Ajit Pawar says. We will contest all future polls, local, assembly and national, under the NCP name and symbol. There is no need to respond to any criticism. We will work for the public and development. On the other hand, you've got the Congress party that is now blaming Pawar Senior as the split cloud has, dampened the hopes of the opposition in Maharashtra. How do you see this particular aspect playing out? The posturing of who gets to be NCP? We've got, disqualification petitions against not just Ajit Pawar, but 8 other MLAs as well.
Well, see, NCP has to portray and showcase that it is concerned, it is taking all legitimate actions that is there within the rights of the party leadership and the party itself, which is fair enough. Disqualification from the party, I don't think Ajit Pawar is worried about that, because what he has done, and if I could just share the details of the press conference that Ajit Pawar did yesterday. He said that हमें NCP के सभी लोगों का, and he said सभी का मतलब सभी लोगों का आशीर्वाद प्राप्त है, और हम चाहेंगे कि वो ऐसा ही बना रहे. And then he says a very important thing. He says that NCP will be contesting elections under his stewardship, and NCP would be working together in 2024 with the BJP under the leadership of Prime Minister Narendra Modi. Now, who is Ajit Pawar to say that? Well, he is the man who has exposed just 8 cards as of now. He is claiming that he would stake claim on the NCP, and he's saying that he will fight on the same symbol, and the party would remain the same. So basically, this is one step ahead of what had happened to Shiv Sena. Here, looks like Supriya Sule, all smiles, says that Ajit Pawar mere dada hai, bade bhai hai,
Yeah, I'm
bade
going to
bhai
keep
hi rahenge.
professional away from personal and all that. Yes.
Exactly. This kind of approach we haven't seen earlier because Supriya Sule, although quite new as far as the national politics is concerned, but Ajit Pawar immediately Sharad Pawar immediately doing a press conference without any political move yesterday from Pune. That was also something very remarkable. So. For Ajit Pawar, obviously, as I was mentioning, staking claim on the party, saying that no, NCP remains intact. He is giving a message that now he is the boss. He is the guy who has most number of MLAs, and I believe with Chhagan Bhujbal and Praful Patel sitting in the wings and clapping and laughing away to glory, while Ajit Pawar signed the post of Deputy Chief Ministership at the Raj Bhavan. I think. This does not need more ratification than anything else. That
All
sooner or
right.
later we are going to see Ajit Pawar at the helm of
Pankaj,
affairs in NCP.
we're running out of time here. We've got lots more to cover, but before we move on, one last standpoint in this Maharashtra political shakeup. We saw Sharad Pawar conducting that press conference in Pune. He was with Rohit Pawar back then. What does this mean for the opposition unity? I mean, the opposition is trying to forge a unity. What kind of dent does this put on the opposition unity? Because this is what the Hindu has put it. It says, the undeterred by crisis, Sharad Pawar vows to rebuild party. NCP chief says he's the chief, distances himself from his nephew Ajit's rebellion, says things would be clear in the next few days. And I remember right after the information of the split, Sanjay Raut put out a tweet that he's been on a phone call with Sharad Pawar, and Sharad Pawar has given him this ashvasan that he is going to rebuild the people's faith around Uddhav Thackeray. How are you looking at the NCP coming out of this, and what does this mean for the opposition unity? Very quickly, Pankaj.
Yes, definitely, Kabir. Opposition unity is something that many are actually saying that BJP has killed two birds with one stone. How so? First, he has disintegrated the NCP for the time being. Again, this rider comes again and again because we know Sharad Pawar, for a man who wouldn't give up so easily, unless this all political move that we saw on a very rainy Sunday. It was, a rainy Sunday in Mumbai, Maharashtra, where all these things were happening. This killing two birds with one stone, the fact that NCP is also split into half, and now the opposition unity also gets a body blow, because this is on expected lines. Obviously, the repercussions would be, far-reaching. And by the time this news had come out, simultaneously, Khadge speaking to Sharad Pawar, Sanjay Raut speaking to Sharad Pawar, Mamta Banerjee speaking to Sharad Pawar, all those things had also started streaming in. It means that जो एक कहावत होती है कि कहीं पे निगाहें कहीं पे निशाना, likewise the impact was the impact was somewhere, and the fallout was seen somewhere else. This way, if you look at how NCP was positioned, how Sharad Pawar was positioned, whether his stand has been weakened or not in the Grand Alliance, in the opposition unity, I would say yes, because Sharad Pawar was critically being seen as a glue once again for the experience that he brings. Obviously, if you take a look at the opposition unity benches, from only Lalu Prasad Yadav and Sharad Pawar were two guys, barring a few left leaders, who have a maximum number of experience in politics. Otherwise,
Certainly.
we have youngsters, we have Nitish Kumar and all. Yes, Kabir, you were saying something.
No, I was actually, agreeing with what you have to say, because now it seems like, imagine a relay race, Pankaj, and the batons have to be exchanged. However, in this scenario, it is not being passed over, but being snatched. That's the situation. I mean, it is a relay race. We're still in the semantics and the rules of a relay race, but the baton exchange is, not as organic as it should be. The Dainik Bhaskar puts out the headline saying, Maharashtra mein Ajit ka power play. Maharashtra mein Ajit ka power play. Usually power play is something that you give credit to Sharad Pawar for. But here it's Ajit Pawar. But Pankaj, let's move on very quickly because another important aspect that News9 has been looking at for the longest time now. It's been it's going to be 3 months now, and that is the sensitive situation of Manipur. And of course, even as we begin talking, let's hope that good sense prevails and peace prevails in the valley and the hill area and the valley area, both alike. Now we're learning that it's been one of the bloodiest clashes that have taken place in Manipur. 3 people have been shot, 1 beheaded in Manipur's night raid is what they're calling. 5 people have been wounded and 5 reportedly taken hostage as well. So even as we're getting information, Pankaj, about various People's United Front, you've got some cookie organization also that have lent support to the center, saying that we're removing all kind of hindrances and obstacles from certain national highways so that supply is not disrupted at all. But take a look at what's happening in the night. You've got some people keeping vigil, keeping watch over their own villages, whilst the other move out on night raids. I mean, bodies being burnt, beheadings that are happening, just to make an example. And we're learning that, and this is on the Times of India, it says 5 reportedly taken hostage as well. What's happening in Manipur 2.5 months after the conflict began?
Well, the situation is far from normal, and it pains me to say that despite all the best intentions, despite putting the armed forces at play there, it's not that they were sent there a little late or something. They have been there for a long, long time now. Plus the political will as of now. The opposition may claim that, the Prime Minister was campaigning in Karnataka when Manipur was burning and all that thing. But the point is that his deputy, Amit Shah, was also constantly in touch, and he made a visit to Manipur, and Chief Minister Biren Singh had come down to Manipur several times. Now, this is the Indian Express, which talks about 4 killed as Manipur violence continues. Cookies lift NH blockade. The issue, Kabir, here is not that, who would blink first. The issue here is the removal of Biren Singh as the chief minister. That is something that they are demanding.
I mean, we're looking at visuals, Pankaj. You must remember these visuals. The amount of people that came right outside, the chief minister's residence, saying that we don't want, Chief Minister Biren Singh to step down. So the community is certainly divided at that point as well.
Definitely. See, I mean, this particular show of strength that happened on Friday, when it was almost been given in that Biren Singh is going to resign. But what transpired after that, the sea of supporters that came out at Biren Singh's house in Imphal.
Right.
Well, see, I mean, skepticism aside, where people were saying that it must have been an engineered show of strength, basically, with women lining up outside Biren Singh's house and tearing down the resignation letter, all those things. But that apart, what remains as a fact that Biren Singh is still in power, and whether or not BJP likes it or not, Biren Singh has proved one point that he would be stepping down, or he would be taking decision based on his own understanding, because the kind of sway he has, or even BJP also knows that if Biren Singh deflects from the party after being removed as the chief minister, he could very well break the party and start his own party, maybe, or maybe align with what Himanta did to Congress. If Biren does to BJP, that would be once again a body blow to BJP in the Northeast. So yes, Biren Singh stays in power, showed his support, whatever it was, a drama or a gimmick or a play that was being organized. But lo and behold, I mean, he has the support of the people, and he has chosen to move on with the proceedings.
Well, this is what the Times of India has put out, Pankaj. It says volunteer groups locked in a night-long gunfight that has left 4 dead and 5 injured, and has prompted a round of arson with several houses that were torched in Manipur's Kumbi Assembly constituency. Curfew hours, meanwhile, have been increased. Chief Minister has visited the violence-hit areas in the hill state. Fighting comes on a day when two Kuki militant outfits lifted the blockade of Manipur's lifeline, the NH2 at Kangui, where Pokpi district. NH2, the lifeline. So the day these two militant outfits lift the blockade, the same night an attack happens. So it goes on to say that there are, aspects inside the society as well in Manipur that don't want peace to prevail, certainly.
Yes, I mean, again, the definition of peace, Kabir, and the way it is being demanded is it has got a whole lot of layers. We cannot see that fine. Peace means people at their homes going by their businesses, the markets are open, shops are open. That is not the case. The thing has gone beyond that now. The demand for a separate administration, the demand for removal of Biren Singh, the demand that president's rule must be imposed, the demand that the Kuki versus the Methi fight, who gets what and who is superior, who should be attended to. Biren Singh is, is being seen as a Methi hero. His comments also saying Kuki, quote unquote, militants, all those things haven't gone down well. But he enjoys the support of the Methis, and that's why he stays in power. Also, they become his strength. In that regard, the division is calling for a final settlement. It's not cosmetic anymore. The kind of moves that we have seen, the government saying that, administration saying all the government employees who are not coming to work would have to let go of their salaries if they don't get leaves, if it is unannounced leaves and all those things. Pressure being built, but yes, the people refusing to actually budge, and also keeping on with the protest, keeping on with the fight that is going on. This is something which is deeply entrenched. It is beyond the issue of law and order, and it looks like the BJP government, both in the state and at the center, will have to come up with a permanent fix to this. Otherwise, these things would keep coming up again and again.
Well, certainly. And, the Manipur chief minister taunting Kuki users with Myanmar tweets and then later deleted. All of these things are also not going well when peace is supposed to be paramount and it's supposed to be prioritized. What do you think is going to be the next step that the center is going to take, keeping in mind that politics is something that is so tense and tenuous in that area ahead of 2024? Rahul Gandhi visited the area. Amit Shah, he has earlier visited the area. So the situation still continues to be tense. And politically speaking, what do you think is going to be the next step by the center now?
Well, the center has not many options left with it. The first option is obviously to maintain peace and tranquility there. And when I say peace and tranquility, that means both the internal and the external factors. Internally, yes, so there are lots of arms still out there in the open, so they need to rein in on that. There have been violences, especially late evening, late night violences, the violence where people are being killed. And this is not what happened just this Sunday. It has been happening for quite a few weeks now, that we are hearing reports of deaths being reported in that part of the country. And the second part is obviously the role of the neighboring countries, Myanmar, the alternate route of drug supply, that is also there. This whole poppy business, which many claim that is the reason why Biren Singh was, using this strong hand to come down heavily on this poppy cultivation thing, which in turn divided the two communities. That is also there. Countering that situation also is something that needs to be worked on. So that's one option for the government. The second option is obviously to mitigate the impact of this particular incident in Manipur on other parts of the country. Kerala has already started showing signs of, resentment as far as the treatment of Christian community is concerned. And obviously, we know that the BJP ahead of 2024 has been trying hard to make inroads in both Tamil Nadu and in Kerala, and appeasing the Christian community, especially the minorities, is one of their top agendas. So this is hampering their intentions as of now. Thirdly, obviously, it has to, weather the onslaught of the opposition parties. Also, Rahul Gandhi, the visuals that are being shown on the screen, 2 days, 3 days ago, met the governor. Uike also showed a very restraint when he was being asked whether the prime minister or the BJP is doing all what is required. So he said that he is not there to do politics. He is there to heal the wounds. He is there to meet the affected people. So it was a pragmatic approach by Rahul Gandhi. So in this regard also, when he is actually gaining support, or the Congress party and other opposition leaders are questioning the BJP government, they have to come up with more than just words to show that, yes, they care. And they will have to put not more boots on the ground, but more faces, political faces on the ground, where they can actually
take a
tell
look
the
at these
people that
visuals,
they are there.
Pankaj. The chief minister himself, taking stock of the situation on the ground. I mean, he's got that, hard hat. He's got that military grade helmet on, and he's, toiling hard. He's traversing through the jungles, trying to understand what's really the ground situation, what's the situation like. There you go, stopping to catch a little bit of a breath as well. So he's toiling hard as well. What about the chief minister's, emotional interview where he explains why he won't resign and, reasons for violence? He said that, he doubted if people no longer trusted him, and the abusive language used by a small group of people against him made him take the decision. He said, amid all this, I saw effigies of Prime Minister Modi and Amit Shah being burnt at a few places in the state, saw attempts of attack on BJP office. What the centre did for Manipur and what we did for Manipur in 5 to 6 years, I doubted if we have lost the trust of the people. Thinking about this made me feel bad. The abusive language was used by a small group against me a few days back at the market. It didn't feel so good, so I decided to step down. What's your take on that?
Well, see, Kabir, for any elected representative, brickbats and bouquet come hand in hand. So we can't say that, hey, look, I've been doing all the good work, why people are against me. I mean, one has to live with that. Secondly, Biren Singh, obviously, in that interview, which came right after his decision that he's not going to resign, had shown the world that he enjoys quite handsome support of the local women folk, of the local people. So he should not be the one who should be complaining. Rather, he should be the one who should be making more of such threats. Well, the looks of it, it appears that he is heading to some remote tribal or hilly area where he's going to meet the representatives of the society. But my question is whether the capital city Impal is under control, whether Churachandpur is under control, whether Kangpokchi is under control. I mean, to meet the villagers there is a good symbol of, a good start. But obviously, communion with the masses is one thing, and the messaging and the strong-handed tactics would do, another sort of impact, will have another sort of impact when it comes to handling the situation. So for Biren Singh, obviously, I don't think it's the time to give interviews anymore. It's time to act. It's time to get the situation under control as of now, and show the world, show the country that, yes, the situation, whatever it was, took some time, but it is fairly under control now. Because as of now, Kabir, Biren Singh is at least, as far as the popular perception is concerned, his role is under scanner, first of all, for not handling that situation properly. And secondly, whether he is the chief minister of the whole of Manipur, or whether he is just standing there for the Meitei's cause. That is something which is many cynics, many critics would say, many media outlets and
Certainly.
newspapers are also putting
Certainly, certainly. And it goes beyond just saying that, our Home Minister, the Chief Minister of Manipur, and several other, political stakeholders and the people on ground are breaking a sweat, because if all of us as Indians are not breaking a sweat on this sensitive issue, then something certainly is wrong. Again, like I said before we began talking about Manipur, we can only hope that good sense prevails and peace and the prevalence of peace across the valley and hill state alike is and has to be the paramount priority right now. Well, moving on, Pankaj, we'll quickly talk about the riots in France. But before that, let's take a look at what's happening in Tamil Nadu, because the federal structure, which Mamata Banerjee, which Kerala's Chief Minister Pinarayi Vijayan have also alleged time and again, the Tamil Nadu Chief Minister has yet again come up with a similar remark. He says, rein in your governor or face Tamil Nadu's ire. This is the Chief Minister of Tamil Nadu, M.K. Stalin, telling the centre. Tamil Nadu Chief Minister M.K. Stalin on Sunday warned that the union government would face the ire of the people of the state of Tamil Nadu if it did not rein in Governor R.N. Ravi. M.K. Stalin reiterated the DMK's position that the governor's post was redundant. He also accused the BJP of targeting DMK ministers through central agencies, of course, the Enforcement Directorate in there as well. And yesterday, after Maharashtra split, M.K. Stalin has also said that, Tamil Nadu is not going to bow down in front of the Enforcement Directorate. From NEET, from various bills that were pending with R.N. Ravi, to this latest tussle with Senthil Balaji, what do you think is going to happen? This ire remark of M.K. Stalin, I mean, he does seem firm on his stand, doesn't he, Pankaj?
Yes, Kabir, and he has all the good reasons also to do so, because we saw how a case of constitutional overreach came into picture when Governor R.N. Ravi chose to dismiss Senthil Balaji. In this scenario, obviously, many would say once again, it's not the governor versus DMK, rather it's Stalin versus the center. And obviously, much of the things that have happened in the past also, be it the language row, be it the speech being changed, be it the choice of words, or for that matter, now this one, Senthil Balaji, all those things are being seen in the light of the state basically putting up a definite stand against the center. The governor is a representative of them. Now, for M.K. Stalin, obviously, so long as he could deflect and dodge these things from the constitutional point of view, that he would be justified there. But when it comes to the interests that how the state is aligned with the center, how the state is aligned with the governor, that is also something, because we don't want a case of what happened in Delhi. Delhi, for a long time has been, the tug of war between the governor and Arvind Kejriwal, Lieutenant Governor and Arvind Kejriwal, has been going on, but the resultant we have seen it's a seesaw sort of situation. At times, so you would see Arvind Kejriwal gaining some ground. On the other hand, then the center put some ordinance, and again it's a +1 center.
Right.
So that situation it doesn't augur well for democracy.
Well, absolutely. What does this mean for federal structure? That is something that Mamata Banerjee and, Kerala Chief Minister Pinarayi Vijayan are also going to latch onto. And of course, Arvind Kejriwal, that's actually a good shout over there, Pankaj, because his tussles with the governor, the lieutenant governor in Delhi, and his bonhomie with M.K. Stalin is not news to anybody. They both seem to be good friends. They've taken up the Dravidian model has taken up by each other, and the other one has taken up the Mohalla clinics from the Delhi government. So we'll have to wait and watch as to what happens on that front as well. But today, Pankaj, more importantly, the Prime Minister is going to be addressing the virtual SCO. Now, even as he hosts the SCO, Putin and Xi Jinping are likely to attend. The summit is expected to begin at 12:30 p.m. and conclude at 3 p.m. The summit was scheduled to take place in person in New Delhi, but the plan was changed in early June. Talking about Prime Minister Modi's growing stature, talking about India's rising stature, not just in the Pacific South, talking about the global level as well. Recent state visit to the United States as an example for you there. What does this mean for India? What does this mean for the geopolitics? What does this mean for the shared and mere reason that Prime Minister Modi is going to be sharing the stage, addressing and hosting the SCO Summit, whilst Xi Jinping and Vladimir Putin are likely to attend. Xi Jinping, his third unprecedented term, and Vladimir Putin, we're looking at almost 500 days of the Russia-Ukraine war.
Yes, Kabir, the SCO, the Shanghai Cooperation Organization meeting is very important as far as the geopolitics in Southeast Asia is concerned, and if we move up northwards towards Russia as well. The three key players, obviously India, China, and Russia, have distinct demands from it, distinct standings on in the SCO. But my point simply here is, Kabir, that whether it is SCO, whether it is BRICS, where India, China, Russia are together, whether it is the conference of G20, not much headway has been seen as far as these world institutions are concerned, and vis-a-vis the Ukraine war, because the war in itself is being fought on a very different aspects. Many would say, many would call it, or Russia would call it as its own matter, its own interest, and no one should be interfering there. But we have seen the kind of interferences that have been happening from both sides. China in tacit support of Russia, both militarily and strategically. And on the other hand, we have seen NATO and other Western forces lining up with Ukraine. So that way, this posturing does assume a lot of significance. But SCO, I'm not very sure, apart from words, anything concrete could come up out of that. Yes, as far as India is concerned, it has to, be very careful and has to be very mindful when dealing with both Russia and China at the same time, because needless to say, China and Russia would be on the same side. The conversation that the Prime Minister had with President Vladimir Putin a few days ago also paves the way for a better understanding between India and Russia as far as Ukraine is concerned, because India has on several occasions asked Russia to tone down and has appealed for the war to come get done with, to come to an end.
Well, all right. Seems like we've got a power-packed day lined up for us, Pankaj. Manipur is something that we're going to be talking about for sure. Maharashtra is something that we're going to be talking about. Down south, Karnataka, leader of opposition, Yediyurappa, had that particular meeting with Amit Shah. That's also something that we're going to be touching upon. But more importantly, folks, later on in the evening, you can catch a review of the Ashes as well. And Oman's cricket captain, he said that he's really excited to meet Ravindra Jadeja and how he looks up to Virat Kohli and Rohit Sharma. Let's not forget the ICC World Cup, the 50-over World Cup is also slated to take place this year in India later on in the month of October. So much to do, so much to talk about. Thank you so much for joining with us on this particular morning newspaper chat show. My colleague Pankaj, many thanks for joining with us with your insightful inputs. Let's see how the day takes us. What all will we have to crumble today? We'll have to decide upon that. Many thanks for all the viewers joining us in the chat box and helping us understand what it is that you want to do, you want us to do and put out there for you. Keep watching News9 Live for all the latest updates. 11 a.m. of Big Focus on Manipur. That's coming up next.
Pakistan is actually genociding Baloch people. So being Baloch is a crime. If you are a Baloch, it means in the eyes of Pakistan, you don't have any right to live.
The Chinese and Pakistanis are colonizing the Baloch and exploiting their resources.
The Baloch armed struggle will continue unless China withdraws, Pakistan military withdraws from Balochistan and give Baloch complete authority to decide for themselves.
The Baloch feel that if they don't act now, they will become marginalized.
What lies ahead? for Balochistan.
Balochistan, Bangladesh 2.0. This and more. Streaming on India's first OTT video magazine, News 9 Plus. Download now.
All I believe is be mindful, be conscious, and plan your dress at work.
On the day of the festivity, it is so heartening to see a complete 360-degree change in the way the teams are dressed up.
It's also important to show your employees the lighter side. So you just cannot be dressed up in your 3-piece suit or the 2-piece suit.
Wardrobe upgrades with changing trends is a big thumbs up. Be flexible. Life is about striking the right balance, which is no different from your fashion choices. Are you properly attired? Is your outfit a smart casual or too casual? Are your accessories complementing your outfit or overshadowing them? These can be important distinctions to make.
I personally believe, our dress should command respect. I used to believe that it's a serious business going to work and my dress or the attire I wear should command respect. And that is exactly what I expect as a head of people and culture in the organization. When people come for interviews, I think some come in a very lackadaisical way. They don't take the process very seriously. While some really take time to do the right dressing and, come for the interview, it shows the level of seriousness and the fact that they really need the job. So for me, it's a very important decision-making point. Like we say in Hindi, there is an interesting saying, "Pehle darshan dhari, piche gun vichari." So interviews should be taken seriously. You just cannot take them casually and come wearing anything and everything. All I believe is be mindful, be conscious, and plan your dress at work. Maybe take some time out on a Sunday and plan, and only then you look forward to work. Nice neutral colors or bold solid colors, nothing loud, nothing gaudy. So overall, I think this is a very essential, element, what you wear at work, and one needs to take it very seriously and in a way that we are attracted towards going to work every day.
I really couldn't agree more. They say, trust the experts. I really do. Your email chimes. It's a notification from the HR. Tomorrow is a special occasion and the dress code has a theme. You're excited, but also a little nervous because you do not know what to wear. Festivals are a special time, a time to put on your Sunday best. The office is abuzz with all kinds of outfits. So pull out the stops and stand out at the party.
On the day of the festivity, it is so heartening to see a complete 360-degree change in the way the teams are dressed up. From the boring state corporate wear straight into nice, festive, happy clothings. For the men, they can wear nice pastel, comfortable, probably cotton or breathable fabric kurta pajamas with little detailing. It can be a thread tagai kind of a detailing on the neck and the sleeve.